Finally made it to Columbia, Missouri. This morning I'm gonna go and play a few holes of disc golf. Hey!
Wait, you saw snakes already here?
What snake?
Just some little...
Day one at the Main Street Summit. This venue is incredible and some really good speakers. Let's see how it goes. Just met with Rand, who's a friend of Adam's.
I recently bought a camper van to drive around the US and host small business owner meetups.
Anytime you come to an event like this, it's just always so important you spend time connecting with people, networking. Just gives me the opportunity to learn and see things I wouldn't see on my own. It's been great coming here.
So, finally made it to Columbia, Missouri. This place is like Ozark. I actually think Ozark may have been filmed in Missouri. I have to check it. Anyway, yesterday, I was in the airport or airports for probably about 13 or 14 hours. I flew from Boston, ended up in Dallas, Texas, and then eventually made it to Missouri really late last night. I'm not sure of all the delays. Maybe it's because of the hurricanes and all the bad weather at the moment in the US, but whatever the reason was, I was in airports for a very long time. Anyway, this place is actually pretty cool. Dead smack right in Tornado Alley. So hopefully the weather stays like this and there's no twisters or anything. But one of the guys here at the Main Street Conference, which is the reason why I'm actually in Columbia, Missouri, is the Main Street Summit. One of the guys here has said that he plays disc golf, and I've never played disc golf before, so this morning I'm gonna go and play a few holes of disc golf, and yeah, let's see how we get on. Drawing. Take one. You go.
Get in there.
Yeah. Hey! What sort of wildlife is it?
It's beautiful.
Snakes.
Yep, saw snakes. I saw a ton of squirrels. Saw some deer. I don't know if they're up here. But
Wait, you saw snakes already here?
yeah, I went to go grab a disc and
What snake?
just some little.
Oh. So day one at the Main Street Summit. This venue is incredible. They've literally taken over the entire town. So you have to go to different locations in the town for different parts of the event. So yeah, really looking forward to today. Some really good speakers. So yeah, let's see how it goes. We're in Columbia, Missouri. Just met with Rand, who's a friend of Adam's and a friend of everyone's by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Can you just, there he is. So can you just tell us what you do, because you got a cool story.
Yeah, sure thing. So I recently bought a camper van to travel in. It's a converted camper van, and the only reason I bought it, not for any recreational purpose, not for driving out into the mountains and parking and working or anything like that. I bought it purely to drive around the US and host small business owner meetups across the country. We've done a little bit over 30 events, probably like 35 at this point. Depending on the season, I'll be hosting an event pretty much once every single week, which can get exhausting. And the entire purpose really is just to hang out with a bunch of local business owners for a few hours and build relationships in a non-salesy atmosphere. And that's the key, non-salesy, because too many people come in trying to transact out of a relationship immediately, which just sucks if you've ever been to an event like that.
And how have you found it? You've met a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
What's been your favorite?
Ooh, no, it's gonna take me 20 minutes to come up with that.
Okay.
What I will say is that the most interesting thing that's happened out of all of these events is there's like a weird energy that happens, or a synchronicity, like a synergy. I don't know the proper word, but certain types of magic happen where you host an event in Chicago and one person acquired a very small machine shop in Chicago. Doesn't know anyone who's ever acquired a machine shop, probably barely knows 5 or 10 other people who've acquired any business. And at the same event, these two people, and this is a real story, they introduce themselves to each other and say, "Hey, my name's Cooper. How you doing? I bought a machine shop business." And another guy says, "Hey, my name's Michael. I bought a machine shop company." We're in the same place at the exact same time. And there's just another dozen stories I can tell you. And I don't know. The end takeaway is meet other people in your city. Go to more events. Meet more people. And you're going to end up having a lot of really, really interesting conversations.
Definitely. Want to give us a quick tour, MTV Crib style?
Yeah, MTV Crib style. Let's go. Okay. I don't know. Sliding door. Yeah, we'll join you for dinner. These are more of my friends. We've got friends everywhere. Landon's from Las Vegas. Landon from Backbone Planning. We'll do shout outs as we come across them. Okay, so propane stove, compost toilet, shower, totally functions. 30 gallons of water, 28-gallon gray water tank, so it just all goes into a gray water tank. You open up a little hatch, let it out, refill your water, you're good to go. Full sink, let's hop up inside. Okay, full sink, water pressure. Gosh, look at that water pressure. How amazing is that? I can just let it go. Look at that, I'm not worried at all. We've got lights, under cabinet lights, very, very comfortable bed. It looks a little bit small, but it sleeps 7'6" corner to corner. And then I think 5'10" front to back, so kind of plenty of room. And then just a bunch of room for storage, got a workstation right here, swivel table. And I think those are all of the main things. We've got a nice door so you can separate your living space from your driving space. And that's just about everything.
So where can people find you online?
I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. At Rand Business on Twitter. Rand Larson, spelt with an E, on LinkedIn. And then on YouTube, I'm also at Rand Business. And that's everything.
So day one was super insightful. First, I met some really good people. There was loads of networking opportunities, and then also the speakers were, really impressive too. One of the speakers, it was a Holdco session, and one of the speakers had done incredibly well. Done over 30 transactions. Some as small as companies doing $25,000 in sales, and others which were a lot bigger. The one that stood out to me was he bought a company for $65,000, ended up growing that to 12 million. So definitely a master operator, now has an entire management team at the Holdco level. So yeah, that was a really good session. Then I went to a session on AI, AI in small business. They talked about being ethical with AI. So that was quite interesting. Then on the main stage in the evening, one of the founders of Simple Modern took the stage. One, he was an incredible speaker. Two, super impressive. They took a $200,000 bootstrapped startup to $1 billion in sales, which was very impressive. He talked about a lot of good things and navigating all the different headwinds and things that may come up when scaling a startup, which was really insightful, really, because they're all things that need to be taken into consideration. Also talked about, they went head to head with Stanley, so the Stanley Cups. So it's an insane company, and yeah, really, really impressive. That was a cool session. And then after him, there was Callie Means. So Callie's been on Joe Rogan, actually been all over the media, really. So again, that was quite impressive. Talked about how Big Pharma are weaponizing food in the US and why we need to be a lot more focused on our diet, and also focused on a lot of the younger generation and the things that they need to change to, prevent diabetes and heart disease and all the other things too. So yeah, that was another really insightful session. I could have listened to him talk for hours. So all in all, yesterday was a really good day. Looking forward to everything that's planned today. Again, some really good speakers. Really interested in listening to Wade, one of the co-founders of Zapier,
and there's other speakers too. So I'll give you an update at the end of the day. So in the atrium for day 2 of Main Street Summit, here with Mr. Prox. I caught you off guard. How are you finding it? All good?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been really good. And anytime you come to an event like this, it's just always so important you spend time connecting with people, networking. The power comes from the conversations that you're having. I find speakers, at this point, I've got the benefit of having a lot of experience, but as much experience as I have, there's always 1 or 2 or 3 nuggets that you're picking up from everyone. And those nuggets are really powerful. Being around people who are doing things bigger, faster, stronger than I am just gives me the opportunity to learn and see things I wouldn't see on my own. We all need help. No one's immune from help. And so it's been great coming here. Obviously got a great environment. These guys know how to put on a conference. And the networking and grabbing those nuggets from the speakers, it's been awesome.
So I'm in St. Louis Airport, Missouri, heading out to New York. And the reason why I'm so excited is because we're heading out to New York for our 5D M&A conference. Now, just coming from the Main Street Summit, super pumped. Met some really good people. One of those was Kevin Henderson. Actually got to meet him in person. He's one of our speakers at our M&A conference in New York. And just the Main Street Summit in general, of course, I really enjoyed it. Merched out, supporting the cause. But they put that event together so well. The events team behind that event was one of the best I've ever seen. And previously I did say they took over the whole town. Now when I say they took over the whole town, they did. They had an atrium, which was like a hub in the middle of town, where if you was a speaker or you was a certain ticket holder, you could go there. There was, fresh snacks and drinks there on tap pretty much all day. They had fresh food coming out every couple of hours. They had live music. They had people giving you massages. They had a coffee shop in there. There was, no stone unturned. And then the different places where you would go to listen to the speakers was dotted all around town. It wasn't a huge town, but you could go to the local theater, the local cinema. There was art galleries, restaurants, bars. You could go to different places around the town and jump into different sessions with different speakers, which was amazing. I've never seen that done before. They had like golf buggies taking you around different spots in the town. But yeah, they went all out. So I'll definitely be returning next year. And the speakers, they was amazing. Actually, I'm gonna go and try and find Adam because he's here in the airport somewhere. I'll go and find Adam and we'll give you some feedback and a breakdown of each individual speaker together. So just landed in New York City. Weather's real nice. Looking forward to the event. Really excited for it. Finally got with Adam because I know I said I'd try to find him in the airport, but managed to find him now. He's on a call. So just to wrap up Main Street, which people did you enjoy listening to most?
Yeah, for me it was the couple of guys I related to from an investment strategy. So both had holdcos. One of them was executing a roll-up strategy within their holdco. They built multiple platforms, acquiring companies as small as $25,000, $65,000, and created multiple eight-figure revenue businesses out of it. Probably the most connective I felt was someone just like really diving into those small spaces. The other was another holdco guy, and their intentionality, even with investor dollars, was to build basically a permanent fund, a permanent structure that, while offering some liquidity along the way, the goal was to just perpetually have investment opportunities to put cash in and then reinvest cash flow aggressively into new opportunities, to the point where they incentivize the operators in the companies they acquire based on how much cash comes back to the holding company. I thought that was a really unique model, really interesting way to motivate and incentivize an operator. And then from there, they determine, based on highest likelihood of returns, where that cash gets then redeployed, whether it's an existing operating company or into a new opportunity. thought it was really cool to get those insights.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry that I feel like no New York cab has suspension because I feel every single bump in the road and I can't keep this still. Also, what was really good, the Holco stuff was probably my favourite too. I also thought it was cool to listen to the equipment share guys, 0 to 3 billion in sales, pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. Oh, in what, 8-10 years, something like that. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool to hear those stories. I think the one challenge that I think most people would have is it's hard to relate to people who have had such exceptional success because it's so far outside the range of normal. If we think of standard deviations in the bell curve, they are the 0.0001% likelihood, and to me it's the guy who put his nose down to the grindstone and over 15 years made something happen because he was consistent, he stuck to a plan, stuck to a thesis, and just executed on it. Not to suggest these guys haven't, but I'm highly cognizant that most people won't buy something and turn into a billionaire. It's cool to be inspired by their stories, and I think we all should be. They're good to pay attention to. The thing I really resonated with and connected with, especially where I am in my own investment journey with my own portfolio, etc., is the guys who are living it and grinding it and just staying really committed to the core of what they're focused on.
Definitely. Another cool story to listen to was the Alabama guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, a guy immigrated to the United States, went to university. He went to the school he went to simply because his parents had sent his brother there. They're like, well, we can't have you on your own. He's a young guy from Africa, came through and moved to a very southern state in the U.S. and then tried to start up a business after school. Didn't work out, and then a few years later started again. His wife told him to burn the boats and just go all in. Yeah. And in 8 years, he exited that company for $1.25 billion. Again, exceptional performance. But talking about someone who took the time to understand his thesis and really go all in on it. And he spoke rightly so. For any growth to happen, it comes down to the people involved. You've got to have great people. You've got to have an eye for developing talent and hiring talent. Because without talent, you've got nothing. So it's great to hear those stories. And again, it's cool to see and feel the exceptionalism that comes from such success and aspire to be great like that. But along the ways, there's so many lessons to learn, both from those who are relatable and more closely to where life is now, but then also the people who not just shot for the stars, but actually achieved that and found a way to really, live an incredible life thereafter. And you see these people, and they're normal people. They've just been able to strike while the opportunity is hot. They found tailwinds, or they found opportunity or moments where they could really execute off of. But all of them were ideas at one point, and nothing happens without execution. So such a central theme is that if you're going to do any of this, if you're not willing and capable to execute, it's not going to happen. That's just how it goes.
It all starts with taking action, The vision's great, the ideas are great, but if you don't take action, nothing happens.
Nothing happens. That goes for anything in this world, right?
Exactly. And I think the last one was just Wade Foster, one of the co-founders of Zapier as well. I thought it was quite cool listening to him and his take on AI. He thought that we was right at the start of AI. People are still, working on it. And then the one thing that I thought was quite interesting is when he said that he feels that rather than go through the procurement process to try and find software, he thinks that we're not far away from AI will be able to develop or create the software quicker than you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, exactly.
That was interesting.
Yeah, that was super interesting. The idea that I want something to do this for me, and you just insert that as a prompt, no different than you would like with ChatGPT or any other AI platform. You're like, I would like a software that can take these inputs, can do this, and then with that kind of direction, it could code that software from scratch. And I think what's really interesting is for so many years, we're talking decades now, when you've looked at small businesses as potential acquisition targets, one of the things you evaluate is what does their technology stack look like, and if any of them had what you would consider proprietary technology, meaning they led the development of that specific to their business. You saw that as a major red flag because of the technical debt that would be required. This would almost turn that on its head in the future, where it's like you would only ever see customized technology because it could be maintained in a far clearer way, because it could be so customized specific to the business purpose, and without the need for coding, it could easily, the ability to create and add features and more use cases and greater efficiency or output would be at the fingertips conceivably. And I think that's a huge shift in how you think about a business, its technological future, how you want to incorporate that into your acquisition thesis or ownership thesis, and how you want to invest or not invest in it. And yeah, that's a paradigm shift. I think I'm certainly not necessarily ready for.
It's a big one,
but it's coming. I mean, it breaks the mold of so much of what you think about software and how that integrates with the technology we work with currently. And yeah, we're just a few years away from things like that. And Wade was really clear. It's sooner than later. It's not 10 or 15 years. It's probably in the next 5. That could be a real executable reality for.
Oh yeah, with technology is exponential growth, so it's very difficult to put a time on it. It's going to come sooner than we think. So, final question: you going back next year?
Yeah, we go back next year. I mean, something we haven't talked about here today is just beyond the speakers, right? It's just being around the right people. I feel like we've talked about it throughout this trip and in different ways, but just being around the right people is the most important thing you can do. It's why I run a pretty big community in the U.S. It's why you've got 5D, and the idea is being in the right room with the right people will always be additive. You might not walk away with a specific set of to-dos or I have to process in this order or that order, but being around the people who are looking to do more, be more, drive more, grow more at all aspects of life, whether it's health and fitness, whether it's professional, personal, relational, you can't help but come away from experiences and be really motivated.
Without a doubt. So this brings this episode to an end. See you on the next one.